All right, welcome back to our last episode for this week. We're going to go over the trades and pickups on the year, and then we're also going to talk about very briefly about Ty's analytics, and then we're going to finish it up with the underclassmen that have announced that they're going to enter the draft this NFL draft or for the offseason. All right, so just because there's not a whole lot to talk about as far as pickups, I just wanted to at least bring this up that these were probably the most intriguing pickups on the year. So with Wes picking up Tyreek Hill and Ty Montgomery, those
are good pickups.
Pretty solid pickups, especially right now.
Yeah.
Too bad he's not in the playoffs anymore.
My biggest thing with Ty Montgomery, though, is, yes, he's really good this year. I mean, he's one of the first receivers to ever go and play running back and do both, essentially. But I look at it kind of like the Wildcat offense. Whenever the Wildcat offense first came out, everybody was like, oh, shit, like, that's badass. That's going to be the new standard. And all it takes is the defense to figure out how to stop him, and they're going to fucking stop him, you know?
Yeah.
I think, yes, he's good this year, but next year I don't think he's going to do very well.
Yep.
Plus, Green Bay's going to have the whole offseason to find a new running back or to get fucking they have Christine Michael or Eddie Lacy to come back, and then who they pick up? They picked up
Christine Michael.
Yeah, Christine Michael. So they'll be as soon as that guy's a fucking animal. So they'll as soon as they can get some time for them to figure out the systems. I mean, yeah, Wes, that was a great pickup for this year, but dynasty wise, I don't know.
He'll probably end up dropping him, but he's been pretty useful, I would say, at least to help prevent him not get this trophy right here.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, and then another notable one is Taylor Gabriel by Zach. Especially with these past couple of weeks, he's been pretty decent, very good in a couple of those games. Basically like a deep ball threat. And then the last one that I'll bring up is Rob Kelly. Picked him up at the very beginning of the season. I saw this was actually right after his 100-yard preseason game when I picked him up, and was like, well, I'm not really convinced with Matt Jones, so might as well have his backup just in case something happens. So that ended up working out in my favor pretty well, I would say. But yeah. That's all. Sorry.
No, keep going. You're good.
That's all I really wanted to bring up. I mean, there's not a whole lot we can really talk about, but just I at least wanted to bring it up.
You got to think, dude. Robert Kelly.
Fat Rob.
Dreads. He's got dreads.
Yep, that makes him immediately good.
Makes him a lot faster. Ask Weichel.
Yeah.
Colin, do you have any comments?
I don't.
Okay. Perfect.
All right, so now...
Trades. Oh, this is going to be fun.
Yeah, it really will be. So let's go ahead and start off from the start and then work our way down. So I think the first trade made of the year was the one that I made with Zach. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, 8 positions, basically. 8 people. So it's a pretty huge trade. Because you got to count picks as people.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So... I'm going to obviously have some biasness on this one. Okay, well, just to go over it again, I traded Carlos Hyde, Brandon Cooks, and my second-round pick to Zach for Tom Brady, Jamal Charles, and his first-round pick. Oh, and Golden Tate.
And you gave away Jared Cook, but that doesn't matter. He already wavered him.
Oh.
Yes, but...
Yeah, I forgot I traded him. But yeah, so that was the pick.
That was a bad trade on Zach's part.
I disagree, actually. I think Zach got the better end of the deal.
Really?
Why do you say that?
Because I think, like, dynasty value-wise, I think Braden Cooks and Carlos Hyde are very high-value players. Like, Tom Brady, he'll be great for the next 3 years, but he's going to start feeling that decay of his body pretty soon. He's 39 years old. He'll get out of the league in the next 4 years, in my opinion. And
yeah,
Like,
Golden Tate's doing well. Jamal Charles, but you are getting that first round pick that might come in.
I just need 1 year out of Jamal Charles. That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, good luck with that. You're never gonna get a full year out of him.
Nope.
Ever.
Nope.
So I actually think Zach got the better end of that deal.
I think in the long run, yes, but I think short term, I think Matt did.
Yeah, I agreed to that too.
Yeah.
So,
Really,
Alright,
the main motivation for me to make that trade was that I had Michael Thomas, and I didn't expect him to be as good as he has been, but he's really taken over the wide receiver role. So he's been that was one of the main reasons why I made the trade in the first place.
let's move on to your trade with Javi.
Michael Floyd.
Javi. Michael Floyd is an idiot. I mean, not that anybody saw that coming, but he did get arrested for a DUI after being caught, or after cops found his car running and him in it at an intersection. He was passed out. So
I saw that he was released from the team today.
he was released from the team today, and I don't know how easy it's going to be for him to get picked up by another team. I'm sure maybe the Raiders will take him because they're just a fucking bunch of crooks out there. But I'm sure he might. It's hit or miss, man. I mean, most of the people who have had problems with the law lately, most teams won't touch them. So
No.
I don't know. Tyrell Williams, he definitely had a good year this year. It's definitely because of injuries, but I mean, you were just looking for a replacement for Keenan Allen, and he was definitely the person to do it. He's done well this year. Anytime you have a receiver with Phillip Rivers, they're going to produce. Phillip Rivers I think he has the most completions to the most amount of people on his team or players on his team. So
That's awesome.
He definitely likes to pass the ball around. He throws the most to tight ends too, I believe. Not that has anything to do with Tyrell Williams, but fun fact.
Yeah.
So I think that was a good trade. Michael Floyd, he did okay this year. He had, like 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. Javi, I don't even think he played him. So I think it was kind of a... It's not going to work out for you in the long run, Javi, but...
What do you think, Colin?
Yeah, at the time, I think it was a very fair trade, but just because of unfortunate events, it's now a miss.
Unfortunate. It's his own fucking... Not you, Javi, but Michael Floyd. You're a fucking dumbass.
Like, how's Javi supposed to predict that? That's my point.
He's not. No, I agree. 100%.
Exactly.
I agree.
Yeah. All right.
Ooh.
Now this is a good one.
This has
Between Brad and Rishi, Jordy Nelson for Dak Prescott.
So my thought going into this, I needed a receiver pretty bad, and he needed a quarterback really bad. So I figured, hey, why not trade a number one for a number one, right? I think at the time I thought I was almost positive that Tony Romo was going to come back, and that Dak was just going to lose his spot. So I was like, yeah, I don't mind getting rid of him. But in a PPR league, Jordy Nelson is one of the best players to have. Aaron Rodgers loves throwing to him. He's a huge target. I think, obviously, I made the trade because I thought it was in my favor. But in the long run, it might benefit Rishi more because, besides this last game that Dak's played in, when has he not looked good?
What do you guys say to that, Colin?
I think Rishi got trade raped, like, so hard. Like, what Brad was saying about Jordy Nelson, of course, like Aaron Rodgers is always looking at him. Like, he's going to get the points up on the board. He's going to get the touchdowns every game. Like, Dak Prescott, he's a rookie. Of course, this isn't going to be his best season. Maybe it is. But I think Rishi, like, he was desperate for a quarterback when Ben Roethlisberger got injured for that couple of weeks. So he needed a quarterback real badly. But other than that, bad trade for Rishi.
I don't know. I think that Dak Prescott really presents a good long-term value. I mean, we were just talking about this right before we started recording, but Jordy Nelson, I think, in my opinion, I think he probably has another 3 years in him of really top-level play that's going to make make him be a difference maker. After that, he's just going to be more of a position or like a role. Just have a role within a specific offense. Other than that, I think that Dak is going to pretty much earn his spot as that team's leader and continue to lead them for long time, and especially with that offensive line and Zeke. I mean, it's going to be easy for him to do what he wants.
On the other end of that too, though, I think a receiver like Jordy Nelson is a little bit easier because he's proven year in and year out that he is a good player, a good fantasy player to have, especially in a PPR league. You have Dak, who's a quarterback, and there's plenty of quarterbacks that go out there and do great in one season, and then the next they freaking suck. Look at Ryan Fitzpatrick. He had one great season with the New York Jets, got a nice contract, and now he blows. So, I mean, look at Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck's a great quarterback. He's a great franchise quarterback, but at the same time, he turnovers, man, and he always gets hurt. So
well, you can even argue that that's the offensive line, though.
My another thing with quarterbacks too, though, is I think it's easier to get a good quarterback who can put up a decent amount of points than it is to get a good receiver who can put up a shit ton of points, especially in a PPR league. So
wait, you're saying it's easier to get a quarterback than a wide receiver?
Correct.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Sorry, it's easier to get a high-scoring quarterback or a decent scoring quarterback rather than a decent scoring wide receiver, because quarterbacks are consistently going to put up the same amount of points based on the scoring. Quarterbacks will score more points, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, but then you look at a Julio Jones, you look at a Jordy Nelson, you look at an Odell Beckham, you look at an AJ Green.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
What players that are receivers put up those kind of points? But you can look at a quarterback, and you're gonna have one or two quarterbacks that do phenomenal. Then you're gonna have everybody else who's gonna be in that same tier, maybe 15, 20 points, and then you're gonna have the really shitty ones. So it's a lot easier. You're gonna have more quarterbacks to choose from to get you points than you're gonna have receivers to choose from to get you a lot of points. That's my argument on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And also back to what's his name? I can't even remember it anymore.
Rishi.
Dak. Back to Dak. He has Ezekiel Elliott. He's going to give the ball. He's going to feed Ezekiel Elliott all the touchdowns. He's not going to be throwing the ball for the touchdowns as much as other quarterbacks would be doing.
True.
So points-wise, that sucks for that.
But true. on the flip end of that argument, you could also say that it would force the defense to go. He could take advantage of the defense trying to stop the run with the play-action pass and end up throwing more touchdowns, like how he did against the Giants. But then right after that, just went to shit. So yeah. Well, only time will tell.
That is true.
All right, moving on. So now this is probably the most interesting trade, I think, throughout this entire year.
I agree.
With Javi and Ty. So
okay. Keep going, sorry.
Okay. Okay. Were you talking about the Colin and Ty one?
I retract my previous statement on it being the most, well, not interesting, but I don't know. Continue, and I'll talk after you're done. Okay,
sounds good. All right, so Javi and Ty, I don't have the exact trade in front of me, but basically what happened was that Ty traded AJ Green and some players for
Hunter Henry.
Hunter. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, AJ Green and Hunter Henry for DeAndre Hopkins and
Giovanni Bernard.
So, okay, first of all, I think that the main motivation there for Ty was the fact that he was going to be getting his wide receiver for the Texans. So I get that, but Hunter Henry, it's so hard to come by a good tight end in this league, and he's going to Phillip Rivers. And Antonio Gates is probably going to retire this year.
That works out in his favor too, but you got to think Phillip Rivers doesn't have many more years in this league.
True.
But Hunter Henry has definitely become one of the favorite targets of Phillip Rivers. So he's gotten more touches and more touchdowns than Antonio Gates this year.
Yep.
So, and DeAndre Hopkins, who's his quarterback? He doesn't fucking have one.
Hey, Colin, how good is y'all's quarterback over in Houston?
Pretty shitty.
Oh, but doesn't he make like $17 million a year?
He's contracted for 72. Well, is guaranteed 30, I think.
Holy shit.
Why would you trade AJ Green?
Yeah, he was like the best wide receiver at the time too, wasn't he?
AJ Green is what, like 20? He's been in the league 4 years, 3 or 4 years. He's gone.
He just got his big contract, I think a year or two ago.
He's been an all-star every single. Him and Odell Beckham, I think, are the only two receivers to go to the all-star game or the fucking Pro Bowl for all the first 4 or 5 years that they were in the league. Like, why?
Still there.
You have Andy Dalton, he's a pretty good quarterback. You have him throwing to who else does he have to throw to in Cincinnati?
Only Tyler Eifert. That's it.
Yeah, and yes, AJ Green's hurt, but at the same time, I don't think that was a good trade.
If anything, I mean, he's not here to kind of defend himself. The only thing that I could even think that would be a motivation was that he needed a running back, and that's why he traded for Giovanni Bernard. But then he ended up getting hurt, so that kind of screwed him over. But I don't know. I think he just gave up so much to get that type of running back who's not even really the starter, you know? He's just a role player.
Who else?
Do you have any input on Colin?
Running back?
I think at the time it was a fair trade because we didn't really know how badly Brock Osweiler was going to be. Like DeAndre Hopkins.
What are you talking about? DeAndre Hopkins didn't do anything the entire year. I think he had at least one good game.
The time it was.
This was like halfway in the season.
This was early.
So,
this was early. It was before the first half of the season. This trade was made. I'm pretty sure.
So I think that. Oh, I think that Ty could have easily gotten DeMarco Murray or Melvin Gordon for AJ Green. Like the fact that he got Giovanni Bernard, even before he was hurt, he wasn't putting up numbers.
No.
Like that, Ty. I'm sorry, dude. You should have gotten more for what you traded away.
I 100% agree with that.
Because I mean, if you look at, I am 100% super surprised that Javier is not winning our league right now because, I mean, he just Andrew Luck, fantasy machine. Le'Veon Bell, again, fantasy machine. DeMarco Murray, he got good this year. T.Y. Hilton, A.J. Green, Tyler Eifert. Dude, I mean, it...
Fucking A, dude.
Yeah.
That team is... God damn.
Thanks, Ty. That's all your fault, dude. All your fucking fault. First you suck, and then you're stupid. I'm just kidding. You're not stupid. You're smarter than me and will always make more money than me, but fantasy-wise, fucking idiot.
Oh, and Colin, that trade was made October 21st.
Yeah, so I think we knew at that time that Brock Osweiler fucking sucked, nutsack.
Yeah.
That's all. You never know what will happen 2 years from now for the Texans.
Yeah, and true. I mean, it may take Brock Osweiler.
When have they ever had a good quarterback? When?
I think Matt Schaub had a good year.
Yeah, Matt Schaub had like 3 good years. Like 2000, I think it was 11 through 13. I don't remember.
All I gotta say is just hand the ball off to Lamar Miller, damn it.
Yeah.
Especially this week.
All right, let's move on. Oh, God. Colin and Ty.
So that already gives you kind of an idea of how this trade went, right?
You got BDF.
Who traded for a kicker. So, Colin, why don't you talk about this trade?
I wanted a better kicker. I didn't like my kickers how Graham Gana was doing, and I knew the Patriots kicker's always been clutch in the past. And I just thought, because Ty was initially trying to get TJ Yeldon from me, but he was doing some bullshit trades for it. I was like, nah, let me get a pick out of this. Let me play the actual Dynasty game out of this and get picks. So I went to a website that I like to go to evaluate trades, and I decided that a 2019 first round pick was equivalent to TJ Yeldon.
They used the computer.
So.
Ah, man. All right.
And I just threw in Sam Bradford because I think Titan wanted a quarterback. Or
Sam
needed a
Snoods.
quarterback. And Sam Bradford's not worth much at all in Dynasty.
Apparently, he's worth the first round pick in this next draft.
Dynasty. They always think about the short term in NFL.
So, my only comment on this whole trade is why in the hell are we trading for kickers?
I wanted a kicker.
It's
And
a
that's all
fucking
the reason he needs.
kicker, Colin.
It's mainly for a pick. And I didn't want TJ Yeldon anymore. Because God
Watch.
hates Jags, that's why.
Watch. Yeah, that's pretty ironic.
You know what?
Watch
This-
2019. He picks some crazy good player and just demolishes the league because of it.
Being in a league with Texans fans is almost making it as fun as being in the league with Cowboys fans. Because you guys would much as a Texans. I don't. God hates the Jags. I'm a Texans fan.
Yeah,
Or,
Frank
let's get
Gore.
DeAndre
Kinda
Hopkins.
balances out.
Hopkins. Let's get DeAndre
Frank
Hopkins.
Gore's old, so he won't be on the rostered log.
It's just like fucking Cowboys fans. Oh, I gotta get Tony Romo. Oh, we gotta get Romo.
There's
Apparently
no
they're
fake like Wes did. So
Yeah, true.
Oh man.
That's all I really want to talk about on that trade.
Yeah.
I think it's
Javi
fair.
and Rishi's trade.
So this was Tyler Eifert, Latavius Murray, or Tyler Eifert for Latavius Murray and Rashard Matthews.
Trade, in my opinion.
I don't.
Who did he have before he had Tyler Eifert?
I mean,
Charles Clay,
Charles Clay and
Dennis
Michael Bennett or Martellus Bennett.
Yeah, Vernon Davis.
Yeah, he didn't. He really didn't. Actually, he shouldn't have traded Tyler Eifert. I mean, I think Tyler Eifert presents more of a future value than Latavius Murray and Rashard Matthews. I mean, because the Oakland Raiders have really tried hard to get another running back over this past offseason, and it didn't really work out. Latavius Murray is playing really well right now, so maybe they might recommit to him, but we'll just have to see what happens for this offseason.
When was this trade?
This was November 17th. It was
Okay,
the trade deadline.
for Tyler Eifert, who is a top 3 tight end in this league. Yes, he was hurt for the beginning part of the season, but he is a touchdown machine. For Tyler Eifert, you could have gotten somebody better than Latavius Murray. Again, Javier has all the running backs that you could ever want. So why not trade a number 1 tight end for a number 1 running back?
Well, I mean, that value doesn't even out, but, I mean, it's
Yes, it
hard to
does.
come by a good tight end, though.
No, dude, for a Tyler Eifert, you could trade a Tyler Eifert and somebody else for DeMarco Murray or a Melvin Gordon. I think that's, I don't know.
I agree
I don't
with
think
Brad right
Latavius
there.
Murray. I don't think Latavius Murray and Rashard Matthews quite equates to a Tyler Eifert. So,
I agree with that, for sure.
Rishi, you're not very good at these trade things, man.
And also, Matt's holding out on all the good tight ends. So you need to keep your good tight ends away from him, too.
Eh.
So
What are
Well,
you
you got
talking
to.
about? I already have them all.
that's what I'm saying.
I don't know
You gotta
though.
hold on to them good ones.
Hobby's got some pretty good tight ends too, man. He's got Tyler Eifert, Hunter Henry, Vernon Davis. I mean, Vernon Davis, yeah, no one expected him to do as well as he's doing this year, but Hunter Henry and Tyler Eifert now, I mean, that's kind of a pretty good 1-2 combo on tight ends.
And also good future value as well.
Yep. Rishi, this is not cricket. This is
Oh.
American football. Come on, dude.
Oh, man. All right, and then the final trade is last one of the year, literally right before the trade deadline. It was between myself and Travis. There was a trade that I made with Brad around the same time period, but I mean, it was
whatever. It was a 1-for-1.
Yeah, Rashard Jennings for Jeremy Hill. So yeah, nothing really to talk about there. But between myself and Travis, this one was pretty big as far as the draft goes, and as far as wide receiver positionings. I traded Keenan Allen, my first-round pick, and Zach's first-round pick for Travis's first-round pick, who at the time I thought was the first overall.
Well, that didn't work out for you.
Nope, it didn't, but at least I'll be in the top two. I'm cool with that. And then I traded Keenan Allen for Sammy Watkins. So hopefully Sammy Watkins can get me a win tomorrow.
So you got Sammy Watkins and Travis's first-round pick.
Yep.
And he got Keenan Allen and 2 first-round picks.
Yes.
I think he got the better end of the deal.
Yeah, I misinterpreted that deal in my notes, but yeah, I agree with Brad there.
Who does Sammy Watkins have throwing to him?
Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah.
And it's against the Cleveland defense this week.
So this week, yeah, it might work out for you. But at the same time, yeah, I don't know.
See, my mindset going into it was Keenan Allen, this is his second season getting injured. Yeah, the first one was kind of a fluke. It was a lacerated kidney. You can't really predict that, and doesn't really affect like his playing style or anything like that. First game of the year, first half of the year, he fucking tears his ACL and he's out for the entire season. I think he's going to come back and be really good, and he already had 6 receptions in the first half with Phillip Rivers. He's Phillip's number 1, number 3, and number 5 look at every single play. So he's a good wide receiver, but my mindset was
my friend.
My mindset with this trade was that I was going to be trading for the first overall pick, or at least the top 2 pick, and I would get a wide receiver that would actually be able to help me going into the playoffs. So as long as Sammy Watkins can help me lead to a fantasy championship, or at least to the finals, I think the trade will be worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, he'll lose in a championship. So.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, how has Sammy Watkins done this year? Dude, he fucking blows.
Well, he's been injured the entire year. He just came back 2 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think that's more. That's a tough one, man. I think I would have kept Keenan Allen and 2 first-round picks rather than get Sammy Watkins and I don't know.
Roll the dice, man.
That's true.
Yep.
First-round picks are really hard to come by in this. I don't know.
I'm not arguing that I got the better end of the deal. I know I overpaid for it, but for me, I was just trying to get a wide receiver that was going to make a huge difference as far as going into the playoffs, and I think that Sammy Watkins fulfilled that role for me. So, I said before, time will tell.
I think at the end of the day, we can speculate all we want on trades, but it's all, like you just said, it's all based on what that person needs at that time. You felt like you needed a receiver, so you traded what you thought was worth it for a receiver. That's the great thing about trades is who cares what other people think about them? As long as you think that it's a good trade and the other person thinks it's a good trade, as long as the other person's dumb enough to fall for a bad trade, if you send them one, that's their own damn fault. So, yeah, I mean, that's all I got to say on trades.
Yep.
Same for me.
All right. So to finish it, this last video for this week, I'm going to talk about the notable underclassmen that have announced that they're entering the draft. I think this was from this past week, last time we did this video to now. The Pittsburgh running back James Conner announced he was going to join the NFL draft. He won a fight with cancer. I think it was like I'm gonna mess it up, and I don't want to, so I'm not gonna say what it was. But he won a fight with cancer, and now he's going into the NFL draft. So keep an eye out on him. And also, Notre Dame quarterback Deshaun Kaiser officially announced he's going to the draft. He's a pretty good quarterback, and we'll see how he plays. He's only a sophomore redshirt, so he may be pretty young, so we'll see how that translates. And then Ole Miss wide receiver DeMaurier Stringfellow. It's a really interesting name, but we'll see how he translates into the NFL as well. So just some names to keep an eye out for whenever they start up doing this combine and everything else. Do y'all have any other comments or anything that y'all would like to bring up?
I'm not going to pay attention to underclassmen till the actual draft, till after the draft, to see what players go for which teams. So
that is a great point. So I mean, you could be as of right now, you could be a number 1 overall pick in our fantasy draft based on how you've done in college, but if you go to the Cleveland Browns, it doesn't fucking matter. So I think if you had a Terrell Pryor at a different location than the Cleveland Browns, I think he would be a higher sought after fantasy player.
Imagine if he was in the Baltimore Ravens.
The Baltimore Ravens, if he was with the freaking Patriots, if he was with the Green Bay Packers, Chargers, any place that has a quarterback that's decent. I mean, it all depends on where you go.
Yep. Well, I mean, like Adam Jones said, he's trash. Garbage.
Whatever.
All right. And one last thing before we close out. I saw this and I thought this was fucking hilarious. So, Jeff Fisher got fired this past week, and I saw a stat. Bill Belichick could go 0-16 for the next 6 years and still have a better winning percentage than Jeff Fisher.
You know, and that sucks because I feel like Jeff Fisher he's an okay coach. Like, I mean, he's not terrible.
But that's it. He's okay.
It's just his fucking any team he's coached for just blows. So, I mean, that's what you get for he's with the LA Rams. Well, what sucks too is he just signed a contract extension the Saturday before, and then they said, "Nah, you know what? Never mind. You suck. Bye."
He'll still get money out of it.
True, yeah. Dude. Just like good old Chuckle Strong, getting $10 million to be fired.
Oh yeah, did you see that?
$10 million buyout.
Yeah, but Texas is going to pay him $4.7 million for the next 2 years, and then USF is only paying him $1 million each year.
Yeah, dude, that works out good for him.
Hell yeah, and USF, they get a coach at a discount.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, Ty, your team still fucking sucks. Travis, you suck at putting people in your lineup. Javi, you just sucks to suck, man. Matt, Colin, John, and Zach, I hope that you all lose this week. I hope that everybody on your team gets hurt, and the score for the whole week is just 0-0.
That'd be very impressive.
That would be like a terrorist attack on every single football game.
So what happens if all the teams tie?
I have no idea.
We would
I don't
probably
think
have to
that's
go to
ever
the next
happened.
week after that, right? I don't know.
Oh, hey, one thing I forgot to bring up in the last video, and it's just a thought. I don't care either way. What if we had what if we had the playoffs go 2 weeks instead of just 1 week? 2-week matchups. Just a thought. Think about it. Throwing it out there.
We'll talk about it next week. How about that?
There we go. So, all right. I hate all you fuck faces.
All right. And also bring up more ideas as far as like potential changes to the league that y'all would like to see. I'm going to be posting up the official rules that we have right now on the chat, and then y'all can review it and add in whatever else y'all want to.